Welcome back to our channel. Today we will meditate upon some of the mighty men of God who walked with God. Firstly, it was Enoch, referred to Genesis 5:24 and Hebrews 11:5. Enoch walked with God, then he was no more, because God took him away. Enoch's consistent faith and obedience allowed him to have a deep relationship with God. His walk with God was so intimate that God took him directly to heaven without experiencing death. Then we see it was Noah, referred to Genesis 6:9 and 7:1. Noah was a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked with God. Noah's faithfulness and obedience to God's instructions saved his family and two of every kind of animal from the flood. And then it was Abraham, referred to Genesis 17:1 and 24:40. The Lord appeared to Abram and said, "I am God Almighty, walk before me and be blameless." Abraham's trust in God's promises led him to leave his homeland and family, demonstrating his willingness to follow God's plan. Then comes Moses, referred to Exodus 33:11 and Deuteronomy 34:10. The Lord would speak to Moses face to face, as one speaks to a friend. Moses' humility and obedience enabled him to receive God's law and lead the Israelites out of slavery. Then David, referred to Psalm 23:4 and 1 Samuel 16:13. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me, your rod and your staff comfort me. David's trust in God's presence and guidance helped him face numerous challenges, including battling Goliath. Then Elijah, referred to 1 Kings 17:1 and 19:9-10. Elijah went to the top of Carmel, bent down to the ground and put his face between his knees. Elijah's faith and obedience led him to confront the prophets of Baal and experience God's miraculous provision. Then Daniel, referred to Daniel 6:3-10. Daniel was faithful, serving the king with loyalty and integrity. Daniel's commitment to prayer and faithfulness led him to interpret dreams and receive divine protection. Then John the Baptist, referred to Luke 1:15, Matthew 3:4. John grew and became strong in spirit, and he lived in the wilderness until he appeared publicly to Israel. John's dedication to God's plan prepared him to announce Jesus' arrival. Then Paul, referred to 2 Corinthians 12:2-4 and Galatians 2:20. I have been crucified with Christ and I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. Paul's transformation from persecutor to apostle demonstrates the power of God's redemption. Finally, Jesus Christ, referred to John 14:10-11 and Hebrews 1:3. The Son is the radiance of God's glory and the exact representation of his being. Jesus' perfect obedience to God's will demonstrated his divine nature. These men walked closely with God, trusting in his promises and obeying his commands. Their lives serve as examples of faith, obedience, and intimacy with God. They were all men of like passion as we are today, even Jesus being the Son of the living God. If you obey him, then you too can walk with God.